Hi, welcome to my channel. I've lost 180 pounds with keto, carnivore, and counting calories. Don't forget to check the description to this video. I have links to some of my popular videos, a link to my Amazon account for a lot of things that you all ask about. Don't forget I have a bunch of playlists on the homepage of this channel. Thank you. Hey there. Something I get asked about all the time is my seasonings and how I have accumulated so many and how I use them. So what I'm going to do is just kind of go through my seasonings and talk about them. I'll talk about just each individual seasonings. This may be an hour-long video. I don't know. Let me get everything closer over here so I can reach these. I also, first I'll start off with, I have electrolytes that I've made. And the link is going to be down in this description of this video. I have chocolate electrolytes that I make because I'm not going to go spend $30, $40 a month on electrolytes. So you can learn how to make your own, or at least how I make mine. When you buy them, they also come with magnesium, but I take magnesium. So that's how I get my magnesium. I don't put magnesium in there because I don't even know if you can buy powdered magnesium. Maybe you can, but I don't need to since I take a magnesium supplement. I also have made some no flavored ones. So like this one right here, this has no flavor in it. And then I have some fruit flavored ones. And the fruit flavored ones, of course, they're not perfectly clean. I use what I get from Walmart. So if you are a purist, then don't even bother with my video on how to make electrolytes, unless you want to know how to make the non-flavored ones. Hang on, I need to grab my water. Before I get too deep in the woods with these, I want to let you know the weather's kind of changing a little bit. There's a barometric pressure. There's fireworks going on outside. So Callie is going to be pacing. So you're going to hear a lot of clicking. She's pretty stressed out. She doesn't like thunder and stuff. So you're going to hear a lot of pacing, but it's just her and that's all I can do about it. So salt. Let's start off with salt. As you know, I have a whole bunch of salts. I use a lot of salt, and sometimes you all are like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of salt. Yeah, it is because I like it. If you eat clean keto, you are buying foods that do not have sodium in them. And so along with that, a person needs to add the salt and sodium that they want to eat. So in the processing of processing foods, they add a lot of sodium. So when you buy a whole steak and you cook it yourself, when you buy raw vegetables and make them yourself, things like that, you need to add your own salt to them. So in order to get enough salt. So I typically buy the Redmond's real salt. You get whatever salt you like. There's all different kinds of salt, but so I'm going to go through what I buy. So I have Redmond's real salt. I do not have a link. I'm just telling you what I've bought recently. And when these run out, I can't guarantee I'll buy them again from this brand, but this is what I have today. I have the Redmond's real salt garlic salt. I have the Redmond's seasoned salt. And I have the Redmond's onion salt. You can also buy garlic powder and onion powder. Like I said, this is just something I wanted to try and I'm enjoying. So let me put those back in here so I don't confuse myself. Then I also have some Redmond's smoked salt. I have 3 different kinds. One is hickory, one is cherry, and one is chef's blend. So you'll see me do a lot of salt on all different kinds of things. I like the smoked salt on meats. So that is my salts and what I use for salt. Whenever I first started and in making my electrolytes, there's something I use. It's called no salt. So it's sodium-free salt alternative. What this is made with is potassium instead of sodium. In the chemistry, anatomy, physiology, chemistry world, wherever sodium goes, potassium goes. So when you're on keto, you're drinking a lot. Your body works like a diuretic, so it's flushing out some of your sodium and potassium. So many times the reason why people who are keto, carnivore, low carb, the reason why they do electrolytes is because they're flushing out their electrolytes, because it keeps you in keeps you in a sorry, I'm distracted because she's stressed about the weather change. Keeps you in a dehydrated type state. So that's why we have to drink a whole lot and why we eat the salt to help slow down that dehydration process. But anyway, so I buy the Great Value No Salt Sodium-Free Salt Alternative. And again, this is potassium. So I use this to make my electrolytes. So that's the salt and electrolyte situation. Next, let's come to this little jobber. I love this container. I actually have a link to it on my, down in the description is an Amazon, my storefront. It's just things that I buy and things that I enjoy and thought I'd share with you all, because a lot of times you all question, hey, where'd you get that? Where'd you get this and that? So I figured I'd just finally figured out how to do a storefront, and that's where that is. So if you click the link down this description, it'll take you to all the weird little things that I buy. Ooh, hey, there's an alert for my area. Hang on. Sorry about that. There's lightning about 12 miles away, which I'm not worried about it, but it just kind of lets me know why Callie is freaking out. Like I said, she doesn't like storms and pressure change. So this little jobber I got from Amazon, and it came with 7 of these little metal tins and no seasonings. There are some that come with seasonings, but there are a lot more, and I'm not about that life. So what you do is you get these metal containers and a little metal spoon. And so what I've done is put some of the seasonings that I enjoy in here. So like this one is paprika. I have some adobo. And what I do is I taped the name to it so I could tell the difference. These are traditionally pretty common in India. And so they have like about 7 spices, I guess, that they tend to use a lot more than others. So anyway, so this is whenever I was following somebody online, he talked about his Indian spice container, and he was from India. So I'm only repeating what he said. I can't say that that's what everybody in India uses. This is just what he was using and what he said about it. And so then I also have one with Greek seasoning, because we know Greek seasoning is life. And I'll grab my Greek seasoning container. Hold on. I lied. I don't have a Greek seasoning, an open one. So I dumped it all out, and the rest of it out into here. This is one of the containers that sits up over my stove. So I put the rest of it in here. So that gives me a panic attack, thinking that I'm not going to, this obviously isn't enough for 2 days. And so I'm freaked out. So I'm going to keep a list going of things I need to add. Seasoning. As a mild hoarder, I prefer to have extra of most things. So anyway, so that was Greek seasoning. This is something called Total Seasoning. I told you all I like to buy the mixture seasonings also. This is which one it is. It is the Lawry's Cicero Total Seasoning for cooking and grilling. So I just buy these random total seasonings and put them in here. You can read the spices and see what you think. I'm not going to lie. I think sugar is like about the 4th or 5th ingredient in the Greek seasoning, but I ain't going to sweat it. So you do what's best for you. Because that little amount of sugar in this is just not enough for me to stress about. I have some spicy Danos right here. That's what's in here. This is some dehydrated garlic. Toasted garlic. I keep saying dehydrated. It's roasted garlic. I got this from TJ Maxx. I like TJ Maxx because they have random fun seasonings. So most people are like, oh, I go for the shoes, I go for the products, I go for this, that. Nope. I just got like that one aisle that has like random seasonings. So that's where I got this one. And then the last one in this container is, everything bagel. You know I got to have that. I put that on almost everything. So when you get this container, it comes, there's like a plastic thing inside, and I scuffed it with a knife trying to get into it, but I did it the wrong way. But anyway, so that is where I store these seasonings. It's just quick and easy. So if you only have, you know, some of 7 that you really, really enjoy, or if you need 2 containers, get you 2 containers. Now let's I'm trying to not get things all too mixed up. Adobo, that was one of the seasonings. This is how my adobo comes. I put it in from here into there. You also have seen me, this one is another from TJ Maxx. This is roasted garlic, rosemary, and sea salt spice blend. I just really like the blends because it's all there together and you never know what you're going to get. I grabbed the things on top of my shelf over there. I have basil, some just Italian seasoning, some herb de Provence, and this is a barbecue rub I made. I Googled online. That's all I did. I Googled barbecue rub, and that's what I used. I did everything except sugar, and that's what I have in here. So this is a barbecue rub I made 2-3 years ago, and I still hang on to it. Also, this is another one that Sing It taught me about. Sing It. It's called guacamole and more seasoning. Use it for guacamole. I like putting this on my salads. It has like a zingy. It has, where is it what I was looking for? It's got lemon and a citrusy kind of taste. So that's where it's kind of fun, just kind of a zingy, adds a nice zing to my, whatever I'm adding it into. These two I've not opened yet. I don't know if you remember, my mom bought me some Paula Deen's Silly Salt. Before I had opened that, I had also had these in the cabinet. I'm just waiting to open them until I kind of whittle some of these down. These are just funny, funky seasonings. This is called Jane's Crazy Mixed Up Seasoning, Walmart aisle. This is a mixed up garlic seasoning, marinade and seasoning. Zesty, chunky garlic seasoning adds tantalizing flavor to every dish. So like I just look at them and see what's in it. This says garlic, salt, spices, and onion. So that's the mixed up garlic. Now I've got a mixed up salt, and this one has salt, herbs, and spices, dehydrated onion, and dehydrated garlic. So they're pretty much similar, but they probably just have more or less of something else to make them a little different. But these are the kind of seasonings I love because it's just fun. It's already going to be flavorful. So like these are the things that I put in, like whenever I'm cooking vegetables, when I'm cooking meat, stuff like that. That's whenever I use these kind of things. So I'm going to clear this out so that way one last one, minced onion. I love, love, love minced onion. I just leave it in here, and you see me, I pour it in my hand and dump it into whatever I'm going to use it to. This is just dehydrated onions. Okay, so this one right here is the one that whenever you see them lined up on this is how they're lined up. This one's along that way, and this is along that way. And this is the one that you all see me grab from. It's closest to me. So let's go over the things that are on it. Gina, one of my sweet followers, she was on Amazon and knew how much I love seasonings. And so she sent me this little trio. It is Boom All Day seasoning. I think All Day is the brand. And Boom, it's a savory and umami seasoning. It's got tomatoes, mushrooms, and some chili flavoring. So this one is a good savory flavor. Good for meats and stuff that you want, like a meat-based flavor. Poppin', it's a bright and citrusy seasoning. So it's got citrus, garlic, and parsley. Again, she got on Amazon. Then Crave, it is a rich and creamy seasoning it's got nutritional yeast, garlic, and onion. So this one, nutritional yeast is kind of like a cheesy type flavor. So that's how this one is. It's kind of almost like a nacho cheesy flavor, but yet has some garlic and onion tones also. A white ground pepper, black ground pepper. I have this, I got from TJ Maxx, sweet Spanish paprika. So whenever I actually topped off the paprika in the round tin with this one. And then this is everything bagel seasoning. So, you know, every time you use pepper, that's where my peppers come from. Paprika, it is good on so many different things. You see me use it on meat. You see me use it on my salads. It just kind of brings a little bit of a smoky flavor to whatever it is you're cooking. And everything bagel seasoning, I like it on anything. That'll make a pile of poop taste good. Trust me. Now, okay, no, don't trust me because I've eaten a pile of poop. I'm just saying, trust me, it's a good one. So everything bagel, that's right up there with Greek seasoning. Those two together, that's a powerful combination. So now we'll go to the next row. One of my followers, she lives in India area. I'm not exactly sure, Marnie. But anyway, so I had asked you all to tell me some of your favorite seasonings where you are. And these are ones that she had told me that they use quite frequently in India, which is ground cumin, garam masala, ginger, ground turmeric, smoked paprika, curry powder, and ground coriander. So this is more of like an earthy flavor. That's the only way I can describe it. It's just earthy. It's not sweet. It's not salty. It's not sour. It's just very earthy. So maybe like a savory type flavor. But those I like adding on to meat. Sometimes you'll see me add ground ginger. And this is smoked paprika. So I've got 2 different paprikas. So this is the kind of thing I do. I say, well, I don't need 2 paprikas. That's silly. Why not just have 1? So then I do something like this. So you will see I dom things up all the time. I mix things together and then I'll just shake it up. And then this is not just sweet Spanish paprika, but it's also plain smoked paprika. So I do stuff like that to save me some space on here. Then I also have sesame seeds and poppy seeds. Those are just good for salads and whatever you want to use. If you're making some, some of those dealies that I made, those buns out of the muffin top containers, you could put some sesame seeds on, or this poppy seeds on the top of it and make it like a burger bun from somewhere. Down here, this shelf, let me see something here. Now this is kind of my southwestern type stuff, along with some random stuff. This is just some concoction I made, and it's like I use 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of garlic salt, 2 tablespoons of Greek seasoning, and 1 tablespoon of white pepper. So this was like me making my own total seasoning kind of thing. It's just some random thing that I put together. And more than likely, when I'm done with this video, I'm going to go toss this into the Greek seasoning that's up on top. I'm going to do it right now. Let me just show you what I'll do. You can't be afraid to mix things and try things. What if you don't like it? It's only a few meals or 1 meal or whatever, which is why I season it for my 1 meal that I'm making usually. You know my beef is unseasoned most of the time. So what if you don't like something? Big whoop. Try it and see if you don't like it. Next time, don't do it. So I'm going to pour this seasoning into my Greek seasoning. And yeah. So now I just gave myself a little more room on my shelf here. It had Greek seasoning in it anyway. And along with some other seasonings that were in Greek seasoning. So why not? Listen, you got to live dangerously. You only live once in this life. And if mixing up spices is how you live dangerously, you're going to be all right. So anyway, I also have this Old Bay seasoning. I don't use this very much. I don't even know what it's really for. I mean, on the picture, it shows meat and stuff. So I've used it on some meat. But it's not something I use that often. It's just something I bought because it was in a recipe. Then, like I was showing you in my Walmart video, this is Montreal chicken seasoning. So it's kind of like an all-purpose chicken seasoning. So I put that right in there. to be quite honest, I could probably mix this with the total seasoning or mix it with the garlic and herb seasoning and it would be just fine. So that's some of those random seasonings. Then these are a little bit like chili powder. I mean, we all need chili powder if you're going to make chili or if you're going to make some kind of spicy something or another. I also have some crushed red pepper right here. And it says crushed. It's not ground red pepper. It's just crushed up. So I use that if I'm doing something with a Southwestern flavor. I also mix some cumin with Southwestern. Sometimes I mix curry with Southwestern. I don't know how things go together. I just mix them because I like, oh, that sounds so good. I don't even remember how things taste. I just say, well, that name, that's a good name. Let's put a little of that spice in there. And that's honestly what I do. Then this is tarragon. And I only got this because Chef Jean-Pierre uses it in, I think, chicken. And then cilantro. Well, that's something that they use in stuff like salsa and stuff. So that is this shelf. I'm going to move this one away and put this away just to give us a little more space here. Now this bottom shelf, I'll go ahead and empty out. This is some random things that just don't really, I don't know, they don't get used very often at all because they're just so random. But I got them for one recipe or another. I'm going to trash these. I don't use these. But I'll tell you about them though. Alright, so this bottom shelf. This is kind of like things, it's like some spilled out grease on there. Okay, now I cleaned it out. I'm satisfied. So these are kind of specialty items down here. Things I rarely use, like ground cloves. These are things that I got for various recipes. This is a pumpkin pie spice thing. I don't know what it, hang on, this is gross too. Anyway, I've used this before, like in my coffee. I've used it in, I can't remember what I used it in, but just random things I've used it in. So pumpkin pie spice. I'm just going to wipe everything off. Another pumpkin pie spice. Why I think I needed to, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. Most of my spices, they come from Walmart. I don't go out somewhere. Other than those fun TJ Maxx ones, the rest of the stuff come from Walmart. This is just some vanilla and strawberry flavoring. I was going to try something. I don't remember what it was I was going to try. I bought those for. And then ground cinnamon. I mean, cinnamon's good for so many things, taste-wise. I've got ground nutmeg. So that's good for various stuff. So that's kind of those things that you think of for like fall and maybe coffee. So then this is ground mustard. I might have used that in the barbecue seasoning. This is dill weed. These two are just very specialty. So I don't even know why or when I got them. They're just here and waiting for me to need them again. And like my mama and her mama before her and their mama before her, these seasons will probably live longer than me. We laugh because when my mom passes away, we know there's going to be a whole lot of stuff we have to go through that's expired. Sorry, Mom, I just told on you. So then I got these to, I don't even remember why. I think I was, I was following Carnivore doctor. I can't think of her name, the eye doctor. And sorry about that, an alarm went off. It's Acapella was the brand. And that Carnivore doctor had used these when she was making some of her egg custards. So like this one is gingerbread. That's pretty good in my coffee. This one is graham cracker. That's fun in your coffee. Then I have golden pineapple. Ain't no way I'm going to put that in my coffee. But I've got them, so I just keep them. I haven't thrown them away yet. Hey, wait a minute. You're about to be knocked down by... There you go, biggin. There you go. You're all right. Ain't no way I'm going to put the pineapple in my coffee. And this one is toasted marshmallow. So these are just flavorings that I bought. Like I said, I got them on the Amazon too. So that's some of the flavorings that I have on that row. Now this row should not be gummy. There was just some fat that splashed out down there. So let me pull all these out. These are, I don't know, just some more random seasonings, but I'll just tell you. Garlic powder. We all need garlic powder. You have to have some garlic powder in your house, because if you don't have garlic salt, you need some kind of garlic powder. And I've got parsley flakes. That's good just to give some pretty color and good for Italian seasoning. My Italian seasoning, I poured into that container that's now up over my stove. So that's where that and the basil is. I have some crushed rosemary. Again, think Italian seasonings. I have some oregano. And some freeze-dried chives. Now, here's some, I've never used this. Well, once, evidently I did bay leaf. I think it was whenever I made the, what is that called? It was the, not jambalaya. Was it jambalaya? I don't know, whatever one I made. I think it might have been jambalaya. Or not gumbo, I think it was jambalaya. I made that keto jambalaya. That's down in my playlist. If you look at my playlist for specialty meals. So, bay leaf, I used it that one time. Celery seed, no idea why I buy some of these, but I have them. This is just some liquid stevia if I need it. And then this is ground sage. I got that because, I buy the ground pork, and to give it a little bit of a sausagey flavor. Now up here we've got some things that are not clean. Some of them are, some of them are not. This is called umami seasoning. What that is a savory flavor. So when people say savory, the other name for savory is called umami. So if you see something that says umami, think meat, think like beef stew, think beef broth, just your beefy, meaty, savory flavors. So what this is, it is a savory seasoning with onions and mushrooms. And so this one has salt, onions, some kind of mustard, something another, mushroom, blah, 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 yeast extract, natural flavor. So this one doesn't have anything listed that's unclean. Tahini, this one is just good. It's got chili pepper, salt, citric acid, lime juice. Some of y'all said I need to put this on, I think some people do it on watermelon. I think somebody said they might do it on their apples, but I'm not sure. Let me know which one it is you like this on. I've seen it. There's a girl I follow on TikTok, and she's from the United Kingdom. And somebody sent her a little bitty container of tahini. So she's been trying it on different things. I've put this on some of my Mexican dishes, on my salads. It's really good for a lot of things. So I'm talking to you about some of these random things for how I use them. But as far as like the Italian seasonings, I use them whenever I'm making Italian stuff. Tony's Creole, I use this anytime I want to kick. I even add this to my Italian seasonings. This has salt, red pepper, black pepper, chili powder, dehydrated garlic, silicone dioxide. So it's got some nice anti-caking agent in it, but whatever. I use it. I'm not stressed about it. Then I have these Mateo's Gourmet Spices. So these I just got like last week for some Mexican flavors, Southwestern flavor. I don't know the right term. I'm sorry if I'm being offensive, but Mexican flavors. This has salt, onion, chile, garlic, chili pepper, smoked paprika, garlic. This has sugar in it. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6, 7. It's like the 8th name. So I don't stress about it. If that bothers you, don't worry about it, or don't get it. And then this one is Southwest Ranch, and sugar is further down the list in this one. It does have maltodextrin in it, so you go with what you're comfortable with. And then this is an all-purpose ranch seasoning. This is pretty cool. It's like, it has, like I put this on, whenever I dehydrated, the chicken chips, I put some of this on there, and it was really good. It's just a ranchy flavor. So those are my seasonings, And I mean, you see this one right here, this ranch seasoning's up to here. I rarely use it. Nothing wrong with it, I just rarely use it. So that is all my seasonings and how I use them. Again, half the time I just say, this name sounds good. I'll try this and this and this. So my combinations, that's why they're different every time. Because I just randomly grab stuff. I'm like, oh, this sounds good, or oh, this sounds good. But if you don't want to do that, don't do it. Get you something like a Total Seasoning or a Mrs. Dash something or another. Get you something that is based around the type of seasoning you're wanting, that you can use that every time for that specific food. It's okay. You don't have to just, grab whatever you want. We're not all the same. And if you're new, whenever I first started cooking, salt and pepper. That's it. Salt and pepper is the only thing I would cook with. So I have grown. Now you go back to some of my first videos. Salt and pepper. And that was carnivore, of course, but even whenever I became keto and counting calories, same thing. Salt and pepper until I started learning about spices and just until I got brave enough to try spices. So just walk down the Walmart aisle and grab whatever name sounds fun to you. And just break away from salt and pepper and try something new. Okay, bye. Hey, one thing I left off the list that I should have added, it's not a spice, but it is a powder that I cook with. When I thicken up my meats, my gravies and stuff, I use glucomannan. I learned about that while watching Kim Howerton, and I ordered it on Amazon. I think that's even down in that Amazon link thing down below, because I was like, anything I buy on Amazon, I'm just going to put it there so y'all can see that's where you can get it. Because if I can go there instead of making a trip to Walmart, but I do check the prices at Walmart and I see which is cheaper. But this, I don't think my Walmart didn't have it. But anyway, so I have glucomannan and I store it in this container. So I just sprinkle a little bit into my sauces and gravies, and that way it can help thicken it up. Okay, now that's the end. Bye.